to look at the surface area of a cylinder now. So very quickly, surface area is the sum of the areas of all the faces of our solid. So we've been looking at prisms. So we found the area of each side and then added them all together. We're going to do the same thing with the cylinder. This one's a little bit trickier. So I have a cylinder here that I made a net for it, okay, that I did a wrapping. So, and you should have done this as well. So remember, when we cut out that net, we ended up with two congruent circles, which are bases. The bases of a cylinder are always circles, okay? They're going to always be congruent, or the same. This other face was a rectangle. That's my soup ladle. Okay, whatever wraps around this edge ends up being a rectangle. Now, you'll do pretty easy with finding the area of the circles because you know that it's pi times the radius squared. But for this rectangle, sometimes people have trouble remembering what the other dimension is. So they know that this is the height of the cylinder, which is usually given to you, but then they don't know how long this edge will be. You need to remember that that edge is what wraps around that circle. So it needs to be the same distance as it is around the outside of the circle. Or how long around is my can? That is the circumference. Okay? So the dimensions of this rectangle are going to be the circumference of my circle times the height of the cylinder. Okay? So you've got to remember that circumference, or else it's kind of hard to do the problem. So looking at this cylinder, it has a diameter of 7 and a height of 8. Okay? So again, making little notes for myself. I have my two circles and I have my rectangle. Okay? So let's find my circles first, because those are pretty easy. So the area of a circle, which is what my bases are, is pi times the radius squared. Check, 7. Oh, that's my diameter. I need to use the radius, so I need to use half of that. So I need to use 3.5 squared. Okay? Now I've done this a little different than in the other problems because I still have two of these. This way it'll kind of help me to remember that I need to double that for both circles. Okay, so here's the area of one circle. Multiplying it by 2 would give me the area of both of my circles, my top and my bottom, okay, or both of my bases. So multiplying that out, pi times my radius, or 3.5 squared, is 38.5. Now, without clearing your calculator, go ahead and multiply that by 2, and then you get that the area of those circles together is 76.969. Okay, so if I want to use to the nearest tenth in my answer, I'm going to wait until the end to get to the tenth. But since it's 969, and if I want just this number, I've got to bump it up to a 7. So let me change that to 76.97. Okay? Now, I need to find the area of my rectangle. So, very easily, the height is 8. Okay, it's a rectangle, so base times height, their length times width. So the height of it was 8. Okay, so this orange here was the 8. I need to find these. Again, that's the circumference of this circle, which is pi times diameter, or 2 times pi times my radius. Since I was given my diameter, I'm going to use pi times the diameter, which is 8. So I want 8 times pi times 8 times pi times 8, which is 201. Let me go down here. 0.061, so 0.06. Now, total surface area, I need to add these two together. So 76.97 plus 201.06 and I get that my surface area for my cylinder, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, so that'll be 0. Surface area is always the unit squared. So it's 278 square centimeters.